Okay, so for your advanced option, you're going to have this page in your packet, and you're also going to want to have a ruler and a protractor. Okay, and these here, I'll have those at the front desk for you guys to be able to pick up if you decide to do this. Now, what you're going to do, this is called structural geology. So it's looking at the surface of the earth. So this is looking at like a map view and being able to figure out what's under the ground. So what would the cross section look like if we dug in along a certain line, flipped it up and looked at the side. Okay, so this is the map view, and then this is going to be the cross-sectional view of the line from X to Y. So here's your X, Y. So what you're going to do is you can draw a line. So I'm going to draw a line from X to Y. And I'm not going to do the full thing for you guys. I'm going to just show you the first few steps so you kind of get the idea. Okay, so there you go. The first step you're going to want to take is to figure out where each of these layers R, Q, P, C, B, A, so on and so on, is located in the cross section. And because it's so lined up nicely, all you need to do is go to where we have the first interaction. So we're going to start on the edge, and we're just going to move over until right here we get where there's a line, where there's a transition. And I'm going to put a little mark there. And we're going to move over, put another mark, put another mark, put another mark, and you get the idea, right? And you're just going to do that all the way along. Okay, now we know that this is going to be R at this layer. We know that this is going to be Q. We know there's a small little section of P right there, so that's going to be P. Then we move into C, and then we get to A, and of course you're going to have a lot more. Okay, one thing you're going to notice, this dark line right here, this is a fault, just so you know when you get there. So that's going to be just kind of an offset. You can kind of see how it's offsetting all those rocks. Now, what you're going to notice here now, these numbers, okay? These are called the, this is the dip, okay? The dip is going to be the angle at which things bend in the ground. For example, you know, if we had this, the tilt here would be, you know, that's about a 45-degree tilt versus like maybe a 10-degree tilt, which you might have right there. Okay, so that's what the dip is talking about. So to figure that out, since this is a 2, we know, you know, the rocks in this feature are going to be 2 degrees dip to the right. So when we look at R, we can actually put the protractor here. Oops, wrong way. Let's try this. And at 2 degrees, I'm going to go, I'm just going to put a little mark right here. That's about 2 degrees. And now, if we line up just like that, that's going to be our R. Okay. Q is also the same, so I'm just going to drag it down like this, keep that same slope. There's Q. P is also going to be along the same, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. There we go. Okay, you're going to see C. Now these are going to be into the 35-degree dip to the left. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the same thing here. We're going to do this. Okay, try to get it. So I'm going to line this up, try to make it as straight as possible. And I'm going to put a little mark down this corner at where the 35, so there's 30, 40, so there's 35. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make the line there. Okay, so that's kind of the start of what you're going to end up doing. You're going to lay everything out. Once you end up having all your layers there, you're going to have yourself a cross section that you can try and figure out what order the layers were deposited in, and you just kind of use like any other strato puzzle. But this is kind of showing how geologists can look at the surface and they can actually map out what does underneath the ground look like. And that can help them find things like oil, different resources, because they can kind of figure out where it would be located. If you have any more questions, make sure that you ask your instructor, either me or Mr. Malin, and we can try to guide you a little bit further. But I hope this video helps.